The impervious upper tray located at the apex of the edifice is protected by a puncture-proof diaphragm of vested interest. The diaphragm is housed adjacent to the parasitical suction valve, which continually operates to ensure that nothing of value ever trickles down to the lower sections. To ensure system security, the lower levels are reinforced by one-way ironclad despair brackets. The reinforced brackets keep each level throughout the apparatus firmly in their place, while simultaneously insulating the lower levels from access to all harmful power. The constant circle-jerking motion of the spinning flywheels whips up the self-congratulatory effervescent froth, continually erupting through the open media pronouncement mouths of the upper tray. This oily victrolic froth is then relayed by several demagogue cogs in wheeling half-truth motions, which rotates the big lie camshaft above the central engine block. The camshaft, in turn, flexes all the sanctimonious knee-jerk arms aligned along the baying mob pseudo-consensus grid. The arms periodically snap upwards in an orchestrated validation motion, which in turn hurls the agitated foam throughout the machine. The oily base of the victrolic foam helps mitigate the volatile friction generated by the constant upward pressures from the suppressed lower regions. Once all the working parts are coated in this obfuscating layer of foam, the pressure is redirected downwards by the demagogue cogs toward diversionary scapegoat targets languishing at the lower subsistent level. As the foam settles, the bombastic emissions of the wide spray nozzle of the pipe dream valve shower the area to further ease the manipulation of hesitant elements through the paranoid hysteria filter to maximize their susceptibility quotient. For the process to proceed, it is imperative that a uniform cognizance vacuum is maintained at all times in the pressurized exploitation chamber. The vacuum permits the uncontested alignment of the plausible dupe probe above the hopper on the subjugated bandwagon rolling at the base of the chamber. Once aligned, the fertile production elements are injected into the downward spiral aspiration tube. The screwing motion of the rifled barrel of the descending tube ensures that all elements are thoroughly disoriented and pacified when finally dropping into the exploitation chamber. The passive elements are then broken up and crushed by the unstoppable press of events. They are then mulched by the serrated routine blades of the whirling bureaucracy augers. Finally, they are ground to a fine pulp or lumpen fodder by the heavy millstones of the repetitive tedium drive. Thus liquefied, the resource nutrients are sucked away by the hypodermic extractor spikes on the condescending pulverization grid, which now slams into the quivering pliant mass of nutrients. As each unit of energy is dispensed with, the short-term memory circuits activate a token flag icon, which flashes briefly on the prominent platitude display screen. This is quickly followed by the ostensory LCD signal, which flashes to highlight the charlatan paragons posturing in the heliographic limelight at the central controls. Any descent particles, which might remain active in the hopper of the bandwagon, are restrained and concentrated in the bypass gauntlet funnel, to be later siphoned off as discredited emission. This discredited emission is then further maligned by the hammering action of the purifying truncheon arm until compliant. All waste is then siphoned off through the mendacious equivocator hose patriotically vacillating from the papilla of the deniable purge exhaust. The entire process is monitored throughout by rose-tinted rapacious manipulators speculating at the remote command unit behind the culpability shield on the far right of the structure.